Hi everyone, this is Miriam Yeager. Welcome to today's Masterclass, Reclaiming Your Life After Narcissistic Abuse. Today's Masterclass, we're going to cover the 5 steps my clients have used to reclaim themselves and their lives after narcissistic abuse. Now, this is who this is for. This webinar is for women who have experienced narcissistic abuse and are looking to reclaim themselves and their lives. If you are wanting to fall madly in love with yourself so you can create the freedom you've been longing for, this is for you. In the next 45 minutes, this is what we are going to cover. How you can regain control over your life, even though someone else has been manipulating every area of your life for a long time. How to fall madly in love with the woman that you are, even though you've been criticized, shamed, and abused on every level. How to regain your trust in people, even if right now that just feels like it's totally impossible. How to create a new reality of peace, love, and joy without the anxiety, depression, and apathy you have been experiencing. How to have healthy relationships and receive true love, even if you've never experienced it before. And how to do all of this without spending years and years in therapy. My promise to you is that on this masterclass, I'm going to give you a step-by-step strategy on how to reclaim yourself and a new life of freedom. Now, before I get into it, I just want to cover a few quick house rules. Now, this is not a magic pill. If you don't take action, you won't see results. If you're not willing to do some soul searching, this is not going to work. The women who get results are committed to their dream. They're willing to get uncomfortable and try new things in order to create their new reality. And they earn the results that I am going to share with you. And your success will depend on you. So let's get started. Does this sound like you? Do you have someone who manipulates every area of your life and you just can't figure out how to stop their controlling behavior? Have you been put down, shamed, criticized, made to question your own sanity over and over again, that you've lost all sense of your own worth? Have you completely lost your sense of trust in others? Do you have a really hard time connecting with people? Do you suffer from overwhelming anxiety and you often can't attribute it to anything specific? Do you find yourself feeling really intense anger and rage without actually knowing why? Have you completely disconnected from yourself, that you no longer know who you are anymore? And do you secretly fear that there's just no way out of the hell that you are living in? If that sounds like you, here is the good news. All of that is not the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't made what I like to call the shifts. Now, before I get into them, I just want to tell you that once you make them, you're going to have complete control over your entire life. You'll regain your connection with yourself. You're going to tap into the woman that you truly are, and you will fall madly in love with her. You'll be connected with your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul in a deeper way than you've ever experienced. You'll be able to effortlessly create true friendships based on trust and healthy boundaries. You'll be able to use a newfound sense of control to transform your reality to a space of peace, love, and joy faster than you imagined possible. And you'll do all this while becoming strong, confident, and independent so that you no longer allow any abusive behavior into your life ever again. Now, who I am. I specialize in helping my clients fall madly in love with themselves and become their strongest, most beautiful version yet. I'm a certified life coach, and my specialty is helping women reclaim their lives after narcissistic abuse. My clients have completely transformed their inner worlds. They've reconnected with who they truly are, and they have all created a life of freedom. Now, how I discovered the 5 shifts. I was working with my clients, helping them overcome the abuse that they've experienced. And what I realized was that there are 5 key shifts that once they implemented them, that helped them completely go from being a victim to claiming that victor within themselves and really reclaiming their lives. Now, there are 5 key shifts that you must make to go from being stuck in the reality that you are living in right now to fully healing and reclaiming your life. And you'll accomplish all of this while at the same time feeling more authentic and true to yourself than you have felt in years. And I'm going to walk you through all of them on this session. Now, the first shift is selfish selflessness. In order to reclaim your life, you need to first and foremost understand that it is selfless to put your needs first. Now, putting yourself first is the most powerful tool available to you that is at the core of the work that you need to do in order to reclaim the woman that you truly are within. Caring for your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul in each moment so that you bring your truest, most connected form of yourself into every single area of your life will shift everything for you. And you're never going to allow anyone else's needs or desires come before your own. It is up to you to take full responsibility for putting yourself first. Now, it doesn't matter how much the other person may need you to help them. There's no escaping the consequences of putting others ahead of you. And having experienced this narcissistic abuse, you've been putting the narcissist ahead of you over and over and over again. And you're very, very aware of the consequences that you have created for yourself in your life. You're living in a space right now where you feel like there's just no way out. There's no way for you to regain yourself. You feel like you constantly worry about what the narcissist is going to do and what they're going to say. And all of that has started by putting them and their needs before you. And once you make this shift, you'll actually be able to give more wholeheartedly from a full cup. And you'll find that you're able to give more without feeling overwhelmed and overextended, and without feeling like you're just giving too much of yourself, without feeling like you don't get to be you. Through the abuse, you have learned over and over to neglect yourself by putting the narcissist's needs and wants ahead of your own. And I know that they have done this by controlling you, by manipulating you to think that you should not care about your body, your mind, your heart, or your soul, and that instead you should only care about their needs, their wants, their desires. You're living in a space where you're in total fear of them because you just want to do everything that you can to avoid the shame and the criticism and the gaslighting, making you question your sanity, the verbal abuse, the anger that comes anytime you try to stand up for yourself or anytime you try to do something for yourself. And what happened is you've completely disconnected from yourself, and you're living in a space where you're literally a shadow of the woman that you truly are. And you're spending so much time worrying about what the narcissist is going to think, say, and do. And you fear being judged by them and put down and shamed, and it's spilled over into every area of your life. And you're just positive that everyone in your life is going to judge you and shame you. And you're living in a state of fear and rejection. By putting your needs first, you rediscover the woman that you are. You begin to live a new life, a life that you want and choose. You eliminate all thoughts of the narcissist in the process because your entire focus shifts from them onto you. And so when you're focusing so much on yourself and your needs and your body and your mind and your heart and your soul, your beliefs, there's no space to worry about the narcissist. There isn't space for that fear of rejection, for that fear of judgment, for that fear of the criticism and the shame and the verbal abuse. And what happens is that you claim a stronger, more confident version of yourself. The second shift that you need to make in order to reclaim your life is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of really being fully present in the moment throughout your day. And what it does is it completely shifts your thoughts from focusing on the abuser to focusing on living within yourself. When you are living in a space where just in each moment you're just focusing on being and doing what you need to do right then in that moment. And so when you're working, you're focusing on your professional life. When you're eating, you're focusing on your food. That completely shifts your thoughts. And mindfulness is proven to help victims of abuse, trauma, and people who have experienced PTSD. And I know many of you watching this are currently suffering from symptoms of PTSD. And learning how to implement mindfulness will really heal you from the abuse, the trauma, and the PTSD symptoms. It rewires your brain from focusing on the past hurts and focusing on other people's opinions and worrying about the future to just focusing on the moment at hand. And what it does is it literally opens up an entirely new life before your eyes. You begin to appreciate each part of yourself in a completely new way. You fall in love with the woman that you are, your body, your mind, your true thoughts, and your true values, and you connect with the feelings that you have in the moment, and you bask in the happy feelings, and you appreciate the love that you receive from others, and you learn how to connect with both the positive and the negative feelings, so that you're able to bask in the good feelings, and you learn the tools to move through the harder and more painful feelings that you have throughout your day. Without gaining control over the moment at hand, what happens is that your mind wanders endlessly, and you feel the need to prove your worth to everyone. You know, not only do you feel the need to prove your worth to the narcissist, and not only do you feel the need to, just show the narcissist that you're human too, and that you have feelings too, and things can be difficult for you too, but you fear being judged, and and not only are you experiencing this with the narcissist, but you're experiencing this with everyone that you encounter throughout your day. And when when you worry that if the narcissist doesn't approve of your thoughts or your words or your actions, you worry that there's going to be serious repercussions, and that has taken over you, and that has taken control over every area of your life. So you've disconnected from everyone in your life, from your coworkers, from your family, from your friends, from everyone that truly matters to you. And you've created this reality of hell, literal hell. And when you're connected with the moment at hand, such thoughts are just completely eliminated. Your entire focus is just on what you're doing at that point in time. And you gain a whole new appreciation for the gift that your life is. You gain a new appreciation for your body when you connect with it. You gain a new appreciation for your mind, for the thoughts that you have that are truly and uniquely yours, for the soul that you have, for your intuition, for your specific beliefs and values, and for your emotions, because each part of you was divinely given to you for your life's purpose in this world. And when you connect with that, life unfolds before you, and you connect with and appreciate the gift that it truly, truly is. And you learn how to really enjoy each moment for what it is. And it just becomes so beautiful. Now, let me ask you, does this make sense? Many therapists unwittingly teach women strategies to cope with the symptoms rather than getting to the core of it. Now, they do this unintentionally. But what happens is, the sad reality is that this actually keeps women stuck in the same unhealthy patterns for years. And what happens is when you don't treat the core symptoms, not only do you experience narcissistic abuse in one relationship, but as soon as you get out of that relationship, you attract another narcissist. And so it's extremely common for people to go from experiencing narcissistic abuse from a parent, whether it's a mother or a father, to experiencing it in a friendship, to experiencing it in a relationship, to then experiencing it with a boss, to experiencing it with a friend. And when you just treat the symptoms, you never really heal. And it just keeps you stuck in those patterns, and you attract it again and again and again. And your entire life, all that you're doing is trying to treat the symptoms, and you're staying in victim mode, saying, oh my gosh, I've got to deal with this yet again. How am I going to now treat the symptoms, rather than fully healing yourself to never attract abusive behavior again? Now, this is the old way of doing things. Curse out the narcissist to everybody that you know. Spend months or even years in counseling to undo all the trauma that it has caused you. Define yourself as the woman who suffered from extreme abuse. Be able to detect a narcissist a mile away and resolve that you'll never be the same again, and that healing will last a lifetime. Now, while all of this is true, that you have spent so much of your time suffering, and that you have suffered from extreme abuse, do you really want to stay stuck in this pattern for years and feel like you have to be in counseling and, resolving that you're just never going to be the same again, and that healing will last a lifetime? If you're watching this, it's likely that you are just tired of the old way, and that you are looking for a new way. Now, this old way is a no-win approach to healing and reclaiming your life. However, the good news is that the new way is that you don't need to spend hours in therapy. You don't need to waste your time and energy on being angry at the narcissist. And you definitely do not need to claim an identity of an abused woman. Knowing how to successfully reclaim your identity can replace all of that with a fairly simple process that goes like this. Create healthy boundaries in all of the relationships in your life. Now, this does include the narcissist relationship as well. And fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the woman that you are at your core, with the woman that you are always meant to be. Show up in your life in a new way and have transformed relationships. Now, all this leads me to the third shift, which is to reclaim your identity. The next shift to reclaim your identity is by establishing healthy boundaries in every single one of your relationships. If you have a narcissist in your life, this applies to that as well. If you have multiple narcissists in your life, even more so, this applies to them as well. And this applies to healthy relationships too. This applies to relationships with your friends, relationships with your families, relationships with your coworkers, with your boss, with your children, and every single person that you come across and have any interaction with. Learning to implement healthy boundaries gives you the exact tools that you need to stand up for yourself when someone is being hurtful or making you feel uncomfortable. Healthy boundaries gives you a sense of confidence, independence, and freedom that you are desperately seeking in your life. You fall madly in love with yourself as you learn to do what is best for you when you have those healthy boundaries. And what you likely have not realized is that because of poor boundaries, you've allowed others to prey on your kind and empathetic nature. And that is exactly how the narcissist has been able to abuse you. Because when the narcissist disagreed with you, when the narcissist shamed you or put you down or verbally abused you, you didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't stop them. And so they were able to abuse you over and over again. And the longer the abuse went on for, the more boundaries they stepped over. They started to attack your body. They told you that you were too thin or too fat, or just commented incessantly on your beauty or lack of. They incessantly commented on your thoughts, whether they agreed or disagreed. If they disagreed, they told you over and over and over again how they disagreed with what you had to say, with what your beliefs were, with what your values were. If they agreed with you, they told you over and over again. They likely told you how proud they were of you agreeing with them, of the thoughts that you have, of the beliefs that you have, of the professional success you've achieved, but to the point where it was uncomfortable, where it came across as them thinking that you need to rely on them, that you need their approval in order for you to do anything in your life. And because of the poor boundaries that you've had, you've allowed them to prey on your kind nature. And each time that they wanted your help, and each time that they made you feel like you're the only person who could help them, and because you're such a kind-hearted soul, of course you would be there for them, and of course you would go out of your way for them, to help them, to guide them, to do whatever you could to make their life easier. And because you had those poor boundaries, you didn't know how to say, enough is enough. I can't live your life for you. I can't make your choices for you. I can't always be there to help you. Because of those poor boundaries, when they knocked you for your values, for what was right, for, perhaps giving money to a homeless person, or, not cursing because that was something that you felt isn't right, or speaking kindly towards others, when they knocked you for it over and over again, you just didn't know how to stand up for yourself. And that's how they were able to abuse you. And you don't know how to stand up for yourself when someone makes you feel uncomfortable. And really, it's all because you lack the self-esteem. And you lack the confidence that you truly need to stand up for yourself. And what happened is that you started to define yourself by other people's opinions of you. And that's the biggest tragedy. Because you're a beautiful, magnificent woman. And nobody else will ever know what is truly on your heart, what is truly on your mind, what is truly in your soul, until you bring that forth. It is your job to create those boundaries. It is your job to really bring that out of yourself, to allow yourself to think on your own, to allow yourself to really explore your thoughts, to really connect with your own mind and allow it to roam and see what it is you truly think on lots of different, lots of different things, on lots of different situations that you have in your life. It's up to you to connect with your heart and bring forth that beauty, that kindness, and that empathy in a healthy way. It is up to you to connect with your body and to own it for what it is, and to really care for it on a daily basis, and to really not care what someone else thinks, not care if they say you're not beautiful enough, not care if they are jealous because you are too beautiful, not care if they think you're too fat, not care if they think you're too skinny and it makes them uncomfortable. It's all up to you to create those boundaries and reclaim your identity. And I know you don't want to stay stuck in the prison of your own mind for the rest of your life. You don't want to continue living day after day feeling at odds with yourself and just living in so much pain, hating the woman that you are, and allowing someone else to determine how you live your life, how you live in each moment, to determine every step that you take and every move that you make. I know that's not what you want. I know you don't want to stay stuck in the space where you are being manipulated and controlled every single day of your life. And by reclaiming your identity, you become a more beautiful version of yourself than you ever have. You'll find yourself being able to accomplish much more than you ever imagined possible in both your personal and your professional life. You'll just all of a sudden have so much more success professionally. You'll have so much more meaningful and fulfilling relationships. You'll be so much more connected with yourself and on purpose, living your life's purpose and your life's dream. And when you reclaim your identity, you really learn how to appreciate your strengths for what they give you, and you appreciate your weaknesses as well for giving you the opportunity to grow and to become an even better version of yourself. And you realize, once you reclaim your identity, you realize that you have a bigger and brighter light to shine because of the abuse that you experienced. And you bring that version of yourself, the version that is just, so full of that knowledge that you are so beautiful and so magnificent, and the one that just knows that the world needs your light. And you bring that version of yourself into your life. You bring that version of yourself into your relationships with your family, your friends, your community, and the world at large. Now, the fourth shift is the re-entry into your life, which is transforming your relationships. As you show up as your renewed self in your life, what happens is that you reconnect with the people that you love in a completely new way. You show up to your relationships in an intentional way. So instead of falling into the old patterns of feeling like you need to prove yourself and worrying, that everyone's gonna judge you, and you show up in an intentional way and you communicate in a better and healthier way, and you're authentic and vulnerable without feeling the shame that's been associated with being truthful for so long. Because right now, as you're listening to this, when you are truthful with a narcissist, it brings shame. When they see you as less than, they give you so much shame for it. And so when you show up in your life as your renewed self, you completely learn how to be vulnerable and be truthful with the people that you love and care about without feeling that shame that is associated with it right now. And instead, it just creates that beautiful, meaningful connection. And the abuse has really affected every single relationship in your life. In each relationship, you feel like you just need to prove yourself to others. You need to prove that you're worth something. You need them to know that you're a good person. You need them to know that you're kind, that you're not just some of your mistakes. You don't want people to just think of you as just, this terrible person, because the narcissist has made you feel so. And you worry. Every time you're speaking to someone, you worry that the person that you're speaking with is just judging you and holding you up to a certain standard. And when you feel like you're less than, you just create that disconnection between you, when you just don't end up saying what you truly mean, because you're so worried that they're not going to see what you're worth, and you're so worried that they're going to judge you, that you hold back your truth and you don't really say what you mean. You just say what you think they're going to want to hear, when what you think is going to make them think that you're a good person, or what you think is going to make them feel like you're worth something. And what you're really craving is closer relationships with the people that you used to be close with. You miss the connection that you used to have. You want to create new friendships with people who are truly going to appreciate you for who you are. You don't want to spend the rest of your life wishing you could have been close with the people who are truly dear to you. Imagine what life would look like if you never create any true friendships. It's a really lonely space to live. As your old friends and family see that you're a changed woman, you rekindle the spark that you had with them. You create new friendships knowing that your friends truly appreciate you for who you really are. Your new relationships energize you as you intentionally create healthy boundaries and authenticity with each person. Now, the fifth shift is to invest in cutting edge mentoring. Everyone should have a mentor. Mentoring brings two things: new ways of approaching old problems and accountability. It brings somebody who actually can show you how to approach those problems that you've been having, how to help you through the abuse, and holds you accountable to doing the work necessary to create that change within you and create that change in your life. There are new ideas in your head right now that wouldn't have been there if you didn't take time for this webinar. Reclaiming your life after narcissistic abuse is one of the hardest journeys that anyone can experience in their life. A coach can give you a proven step step-by-step system that will help you reclaim your life in a way that is less painful and a much, much quicker time frame. Without a proper guide, you can stay stuck for years. You've already lost years of your life you're never going to get back. Losing more time stuck in a horrific reality will create the worst nightmare imaginable for you. If you add up all the money that the narcissist likely borrowed from you, it's likely in the thousands of dollars. Trying to reclaim yourself on your own is not really realistic. And I've also often seen the do-it-yourself approach keeping people stuck in the same rut for years. I have personally invested thousands and thousands of dollars developing the skills to effectively mentor you through these exact issues. Your investment in mentoring will bring you results and will pay for itself in no time. Don't go it alone. Find the best mentor out there and pay what it takes to work with them. Now today I promised that I would show you how to regain control over your life even though someone else has been manipulating you for a long time. How to fall madly in love with the woman that you are even though you've been put down, shamed, and abused on every level. How to regain your trust in people even if right now it feels so far out of reach. How to create a new reality of peace, love, and joy in your heart and soul without all the pain and baggage you've been carrying around. How to have healthy relationships and receive true love even if you've never experienced it before. And how to do all of this without spending years in therapy. Now here is what you need to win. You need to put yourself first, implement mindfulness, use the secret weapon, which is reclaiming your identity through healthy boundaries, re-enter your life as the new you, and invest in mentoring. Now these 5 shifts alone are enough to help you reclaim your life and will protect you from ever being abused again. Now you have a choice. You can forget all about what I taught you here. You can stay stuck in the reality that you are in right now, feeling disconnected from yourself, being verbally abused, shamed, criticized, put down over and over again, feeling like you just need to prove your worth, feeling like everyone around you is judging you, and never creating the life that you truly want for yourself. Or if you want to reclaim your life, if you want to finally start living life on your own terms, if you want to finally create the life that you have always wanted for yourself, if you want to really start living your dream, connected with your mind and your thoughts, and really taking control of yourself and taking control of your life, then this is what I have for you. Here is how I can help you. I have set aside time in the next 48 hours to speak to you about how you can apply these shifts into your life today. Whatever your biggest challenges are, I have seen it and I know how to overcome it. Now, on this session, I will work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to reclaim your life. This will be accomplished whether the narcissist is still in your life or not. In addition, you will gain clarity on what you want so that you can finally live the life of your dreams. The cost of this is absolutely free. Now, this is who this is for. You must be willing to claim the victor within you. You must have total commitment to doing the work necessary to reach your goal of reclaiming yourself and your life. You must be coachable and resourceful. If that is you, then book a session now. Now, this is why I am doing this. I do this because it is my mission to help as many women as I can reclaim their lives after narcissistic abuse. Plus, I know you might want my help to reclaim your life. And if so, we can discuss it. And if not, that's fine too. So go ahead, book your session now. Go to meetme.so/Miriam Yeager. Now, spots are very limited, so I want you to go ahead and book your session now. Again, that is go to meetme.so/Miriam Yeager. When you get to this page, there's going to be a calendar with all the time slots that I am available to speak with you. Go ahead, choose whatever time works best for you, and I look forward to speaking to you on our session. But before I go, I just want to take a minute to tell you about my client, Susie. Susie came to me in an extremely abusive, narcissistic relationship. Her boyfriend did everything that all narcissists do. He would put her down, shame her, obsessively text her and call her, and if she didn't respond, he would immediately go to verbal abuse and just constant horrific abuse. He constantly asked her for money, never paid her back, constantly made her go out of her way for him, over and over again, while giving her absolutely nothing in return. He did not give her any form of love, any form of respect, any form of anything. It was a take relationship where the narcissist took everything. Now, Susie and I worked together and implemented these 5 shifts into her life. Now, here is the testimonial that Susie sent me once we were done our work together. When I began working with Miriam, I was very insecure and had no self-esteem. I had no clue who I was, and I let a narcissistic man take over my life. Through my work with Miriam, I was able to regain my self-esteem. I no longer feel insecure, and I'm able to speak up to the narcissistic man when I come into contact with him. I am now the better person that I've always wanted to be. I feel strong, secure, and I have gained my self-esteem back. I am no longer afraid to express my feelings or speak up to others who disrespect me or make me feel like I am a victim. I am finally able to have boundaries for the first time in my life. I'm grateful for having had the opportunity to receive Miriam's coaching and guidance. It gave me a new outlook on my life. Now, after receiving this testimonial, Susie went on to create even better, further results for herself. She has now gone on to find a wonderful man who is kind and respectful and loving. He treats her well and cares for her really deeply. And there is no doubt in my mind that they are going to have a wonderful life together. And This is what I want for every single one of my clients. So go ahead, book your session at meetme.so/Miriam Yeager, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.